I am throwing the challenge flag on the Colts quarterback situation. The play is under review. Now, the Colts have this quarterback named Anthony Richardson who has displayed potential with his passing and rushing ability in both the NCAA and the NFL. He still needs time to develop as a starting quarterback, as his skills are not necessarily as polished as you would like for them to be. There are some times when he throws absolutely amazing throws, then there are some throws that are not necessarily up to par. Now, this is expected for a man who has only had 13 starts in college and 10 starts in the NFL. Anthony Richardson does have moments where he finds ways to keep the team in the game with his ability to scramble, evading sacks, and even this play right here where he helped push a pile that will lead to a Trey Sermon touchdown. Last week, Shane Steichen announced that Joe Flacco would be the starting quarterback going forward instead of Anthony Richardson because he believes that Joe Flacco is the guy that can help this team get to a position where they're competing for a playoff spot, hence the term win now mode. Now, this past Sunday, the Colts had an absolutely abysmal offensive performance as they put up, get this, 0 points against the Vikings. So now we're back to this conversation once again. Should the Colts be in win now mode or rebuild mode? Well, to be in win now mode, you have to have a consistent winning formula against the lower ranked teams and the higher ranked teams. You have to dominate the lower ranked teams and you have to compete with the higher ranked teams. And even if you lose against some of those higher ranked teams, you at least came close and you gave some tremendous competition. The Colts, in every game that they've played against both lower and higher ranked teams, they have either won or lost by one possession. 5 of those games, Anthony Richardson was the starting quarterback, and 3 of those games, Joe Flacco was the starting quarterback. So what am I trying to say? What I am trying to say is this: no matter who is the quarterback for this offense, the Colts' offensive level of play has been inconsistent. The Colts are ranked 22nd in yards per game and points scored per game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but those are not necessarily win now mode stats. Now, I know you've heard the saying, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And in the game against the Vikings, the Colts defense put on a championship winning performance. The defensive line gave Sam Darnold a hard time in the pocket. However, you cannot win championships without winning games. And you win games by putting points on the board, which is what the Colts offense did not do this past Sunday. In order to win games, you have to have a formidable offensive game plan that puts points on the board for your team. It also depends on consistent execution from the players as well. So now we're in this position where the offense is not as consistent no matter who their QB is. So let's just say you do decide to bring Anthony Richardson back as the starting quarterback for this team, and the Colts continue to have this inconsistent offensive performance for the rest of the season. I would much rather have this type of performance with a young QB who is still learning how to be a starting quarterback rather than a veteran quarterback who may not be with this team or even in this league within the next couple of years. I'm not saying that's exactly what will happen, but there's always a chance when you have been in this league for 15 plus seasons. Now, the reason why I would much rather go with the young QB is because Anthony Richardson could be using this time to learn from facing different defensive schemes, different defensive players, and he also can be increasing his chemistry with the teammates. And then the off season comes, he can use that time to refine his craft and then potentially come back as the solid QB for the Indianapolis Colts the next season. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that the offseason scenario will certainly happen with Anthony Richardson as DQB. But what I am saying is this would be the best case scenario for the Indianapolis Colts. This would be the risk worth taking, especially considering that the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson with the intentions of making him the franchise quarterback for years to come.